It's like all hell breaking loose out there. Screw it, let's just carry on anyway. You're gonna have to ignore that rumbling in the background. That's just the helicopter. Anyway, do you like this? I am repping the shacket today. It's not a shirt, it's not a jacket, it's a shacket. Anyway. Right guys, welcome back. It is Matt here from Sophisticated Obsession, and today I am unveiling... Now today I am unveiling my top 10 winter fragrances according to YouTube. So for people that do not know what this fragrance review is, I have taken all of your favorite YouTubers' lists of their top 10s for winter 2018. I have then put them into my own mega list, and then I am sharing with you the findings. If a fragrance was given the top spot at a #1 place, I've given it 10 points. And that goes right down to the 10th spot, which then gets 1 point. I've added up all of those scores, and the list is, well, the results basically. This is the designer list. There are a couple of people out there that do straddle the niche and designer line. Now, like with Tom Ford, he has got some fragrances that are out there that are very, very easily accessible, but his private blend collection, I would say, is more hard to come by, if that makes sense. This has been the year of the designer. I have really struggled to find people actually talking about niche fragrancing. Even myself, this winter, I just got designer fragrances. I got no niche fragrances. So this year for the winter list, we have got 207 fragrances that were mentioned. If I mentioned all of them, it would take us to next year's list, which I'm not going to do to you guys. I'm just going to mention the top 10, but also just a few honorable mentions as well. So my little disclaimer. This is a fragrance list that is compiled by your favorite YouTubers. Now, I'm sorry if I have not been able to include all of the YouTubers on YouTube. YouTube's a massive place, and so it would have taken me absolutely years to then get the full list. I have only included lists that have been shot this year. Also, it's worth mentioning that I have not included my own personal list, which you can then see just above my head. I want to then just say a quick sorry to any fragrances that I have mispronounced. I'm rubbish when it comes to pronouncing fragrances, and so a lot of them I probably have butchered. Sorry. I think that's everything. Should we get into it? Yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I have got a few honourable mentions. So at 14th, we have got the winner of the last list. This is Carolina Herrera CH Men Privé. This one is very, very good still for the winter. The problem which I found is that it just did not last on my skin when I tried it. CH Men Privé got 32 points with 7 people commenting on it, which is a lot of people. One person said that that was their best fragrance for the winter, and then the other votes were further down the list. Next up, we go to Armani. This is Emporio Armani, and this is Stronger With You. So Stronger With You got 33 points with 5 people mentioning it. One person said that this was their best fragrance, one person said that this was their second best fragrance, and one person said that this was their third best fragrance. I've got to be honest, I've never tried it, so I couldn't honestly tell you what the notes were or anything like that, but hey, you can't argue with the amount of people that have then commented on it. Okay, next up, at number 12, we have got a two-way tie. Both of these fragrances got 34 points. The first one, which got 4 votes, was La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Unfortunately, it's a huge casualty of reformulation. It was good, but now it's not so good, but it's still pretty good. It's got like spiciness with then sweet, sexy appeal as well. 2 people said that La Nuit de l'Homme was their best winter fragrance, and one person said that this was their 3rd best fragrance. I wish that the performance was as good as it smells, but unfortunately on my skin I only get about half an hour. Next up we have the one the only, the all-star, this is Dior Sauvage. Dior Sauvage got one person saying that this was their best winter fragrance. Actually, apart from that, all the other votes were further down. This got 6 votes in total. Now, I do understand why that this is such a good winter fragrance, and that is because it's got a heavy ambroxan note with then a sort of spiciness behind. Moving on. At number 11, this seems to crop up each season. This is Jean-Paul Gaultier Ultra Male, or Ultra Male, whatever you want to say. This got a whopping 8 votes. This got 35 points in total. That is an enormous amount of votes. This is a flanker of the original Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male. It has been likened to bubblegum. I am a little bit worried about the performance on this. I didn't get great performance, I have to admit, but as we all know, my skin is appalling, so you probably would get a better performance from this. I must add, nobody put this into their top 3, so it's a good fragrance and people mention it, but it's not list winner worthy, I don't think. Okay, we come to number 10. For this, I do need a coffee, so I'm gonna check back with you guys in just a moment. Oh, that is such good coffee. Rachel and her family got me a new coffee machine for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. Even Rach, who doesn't really like coffee, she was like, that smells amazing. Right, let's get back to this list. So at number 10, we start off with one that was difficult because I was a bit like, do I put this into this list or do I put it into my other niche list? I have decided to put it into this list because it is in his more accessible range. This is Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Now, Noir Extreme got 36 points overall with 7 people commenting on it. One person said that this was their best fragrance. This is a classic man scent, I feel. There are elements of the private blend collection in there, but it's just not as harsh, it's not as heavy, and it's not as difficult to wear, let's say. That is number 10. It is Noir Extreme by Tom Ford. Number 9. So this one is from a designer that I've only now just got a fragrance of. This is Thierry Mugler's Pure Malt. Pure Malt got 37 points with 7 people commenting on it. It didn't get any people saying that this was their first or second choice, but it did get 2 people saying that this was their 3rd best fragrance. I would say that it has got a little bit of booziness in the background, and it's got like an ambery type feel to it. Considering that it is an eau de toilette concentration, it lasts a fantastic amount of time. Now that might be because of the heavy notes that are in there, but this is superb, and I think that it featured quite highly in the last list that I did for the autumn one. Pure Malt, fantastic scent. Get on it. Number 8. This next scent always is mentioned. Not necessarily this scent, but the scent DNA, or the family that it belongs to. This is Giorgio Armani, and this is Armani Code Profumo. This got 6 votes in total with 40 points. Nobody put this at the number 1 spot, but 2 people said that this was their 2nd best fragrance. This one has stood the test of time, and you cannot argue with that. How long has this been out for? I've just literally got this new iPhone X, and I can't work it. I can't get my head around the fact that I don't have a button. Really? It only launched in 2016? This is featured heavily in the years that it has been out, though. I could have sworn, though, that it came out before that, but maybe that was just Armani Code. Number 7. This one is one that has been mentioned a lot. This one is Chanel, and this is Bleu de Chanel. This is the Parfum concentration. This year it had a re-release of the Parfum, and I couldn't understand what the difference between the Eau de Parfum and the Parfum was, and to be quite honest, they are very, very similar. The newer 2018 release is slightly woodsier, however the EDP I found was a little spicier on my skin. Bleu de Chanel got 2 people saying that this was their best, and 1 person said that this was their 3rd best fragrance. It got 8 votes in total, and it scored it 44 points. I would say 2014 onwards, this just owned everything. It was a fantastic scent in my opinion. I think that the Eau de Toilette is a bit dead now and it's a little bit redundant. So that is Bleu de Chanel by Chanel at number 7. So number 6. Next we have Dolce & Gabbana The One EDP. This one came out in 2015 and has just been it's been solid to say the least. This got 45 points in total with nine people saying that this was one of their better fragrances. Yeah, obviously that this is doing well even after it going on for like 4 or 5 years. It's doing well. It's doing really well in fact. One person said that this was their best fragrance, but nobody said that this was their second or third best fragrance. Some people have said that this is a bit generic and a bit boring, but I mean, look, it's number 6 and it's got 9 people saying that this is worthy of a mention. So yeah, Dolce & Gabbana, The One. Okay, number 5. This one comes from the house of Dior, and this is Dior Homme Parfum. I really like the Dior Homme range, but I like this because this has got a little bit of guts about it. Also, it lasts longer on my skin. This gives me at least half a day's worth of solid performance, which is awesome. This got 5 people commenting on it with 46 points. 2 people said that this was their best fragrance. 2 people said that this was their second best fragrance. And 1 person said that this was their third best fragrance. It did not get a single vote below 3rd place. Okay, next up, we've got number 4. This one is another one where I was like, oh, do I put it into this list or do I put it into the other one? So this is from Tom Ford and this is Ombre Leather. Back in 2016, Ombre Leather came out in the Private Blend collection. He has now taken it out of the Private Blend collection. He's given it its own brand spanking new bottle, as you could see, and he has then dropped the price by like over half. Technically, Tom Ford is a designer, but his Private Blend, I think, is more niche. Whereas this, because the price had dropped, because you can get this in quite a few places, and because he is technically a designer, I thought I'd put it into this list. Ombre Leather got 6 votes with 48 points in total. It got 2 people saying that this was their best fragrance, and 1 person saying that this was their second best fragrance, and 1 person saying that this was their third best fragrance. If you have tried Tuscan Leather and you've thought that it's a little bit heavy and a little bit too full on, try Ombre Leather. I think that this is a perfect scent for a very mature woman as well. Just putting it out there, you know, just saying. So that is number 4, Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. Number 3, this one comes from Maison Martin Margiela. This is By the Fireplace. By the Fireplace got 6 people voting on it, and it got 49 points. It's like got a smokiness to it with a slight sweetness, almost like you're toasting marshmallows by the fire. This got 2 people saying that this was their best fragrance. It got 2 people saying that this was their second best fragrance, and 1 person saying that this was their third best fragrance. I think that the Maison Martin Margiela line does sometimes get overlooked, and I'm pleased that this one has ranked so highly in this list. I'm really pleased with that. Number 2. Okay, so we go to VIKTOR and ROLF. Everyone has heard of SPICEBOMB, and when SPICEBOMB came out, they were like, oh my god, this is amazing! And now that hype has sort of died down. Now the hype is for SPICEBOMB Extreme. SPICEBOMB Extreme is like the cooler older brother of SPICEBOMB. It's like SPICEBOMB but wearing a leather jacket. So this got 7 votes in total with 51 points. 2 people said that this was their second best fragrance, and 1 person said that this was their third best fragrance. Now, I don't actually own it, but I have worn it a few times and have got good performance from it. Okay, so that leaves us to number 1 spot. The number 1 spot this year won by a clean margin. This won by 16 points with 67 points in total and 9 people mentioning it. This is Valentino UOMO Intense. Intense. Valentino Uomo Intense is a good flanker of the Uomo line with the added note of iris. I personally really like this more than any of the others in that line. 2 people said that this was their best fragrance, 2 people said that this was their second best fragrance, and 1 person said that this was their 3rd best fragrance. But with 9 votes, you cannot argue with that. This is by far the most popular designer fragrance of this year in winter. Nearly every single list that I was looking at mentioned this fragrance. Check it out, buy a bottle, because hey, I'm going to. Okay guys, that is it. So that is the designer fragrance list. Now I will be back with the niche fragrance list very shortly, so stay tuned for that. As always, make sure you check us out on Instagram to see what we're getting up to, and that you have hit that big subscribe button. Also, you will see the niche fragrance list just here when I upload it. Have a great day guys, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you later. Bye!